Hello everybody, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. 1099, our solve count. There's 2 left in inequality, and we were doing well with the ones that we were tackling here. So there's this 7 and this 7. This one I've looked at before, and I hate it. So let's give this some brain time, shall we? Range 2 to 6. All things must have different shapes, and inequality is in effect. Okay. Well, what do we know? This can't be a 1. It's got to be at least a 2. This is bigger than this. So, if at worst this is 2, this has to be 3. However, this has to be bigger than that. So, if this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. Ooh, I like that a lot, because that tells us if the range is 2 to 6, and this is 2, gets bigger to 3, gets bigger to 4, gets bigger to 5, gets bigger to 6, tells us where the 2 is going to be, right there. And that's the only one of them. And then this is a 3. And this is a bigger than, so this is 4, this is a 5, 6. And this is a 5, 6. I'm hoping all of that is sound. I'm just going to double check the orientation of these inequality arrows here. So 2 is small, gets bigger to a 3, gets bigger to a 4, gets bigger to a 5, gets bigger to a 6. Gold. This 4 gets smaller to a 3, gets bigger to a 5 or a 6. The 4 gets bigger to a 5 or a 6. This has to get out. This has to get out again. That's the 4. This is a 6 that has to come out to here. Can't touch there because then this would have to be a 7, which is not allowed. So that gets a line. That must come out to here at least. This 6 must be there then, because it can't come here for a 6, making this needing to be a 7. Can't have a 7 in range 2 to that. So this goes up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put a box around it. This can't be a 2. The 2 is accounted for, so it's got to be at least a 3. Probably bigger. We're probably going to get to some, like the polyominoes, and then the variations on 6 are going to be numerous around here down the line, I'm sure. Let me just rehydrate. Okay, well, we know this has to be smaller than 6, which is a given. We know it can't be a 2. If it's a 3, it can't be a 3 because this would have to be a 2. So it has to be at least a 4. And this is ambiguous as to whether this is a 4 or a 5. Because this is the 6, this is smaller than the 6. It's a 4 or a 5. Can't be another 6, and then this will be a bigger number than the 4 makes a 5 or a 6, the 5 makes a 6 specifically. Okay. This 3 has to get out. I think these 2 are going to be part of the same region. And that looks good to me because if this is a 5 or a 6 and it picks up these, I mean, technically, I suppose it could do that for a 6 and this could be a different 6. So let's not commit to that. Also, this could come to here and other stuff. So, at what point do we need to find another start to some logic? Because I don't think we can just keep playing this out across the entire board, I suspect. Now, here's something else interesting. It's mismatch. All regions must have different shapes. This is the only 2 that can exist. We know that there are 2 3s. There is straight line 3 and tiny chevron 3. And as far as we can tell, this is a 4, makes smaller 3, makes smaller 3. So one of these is going to be the straight, and one of these is going to be the hook. Now, this could be the straight, could be the hook that way, could be the hook that way. This could be the hook this way, or it could be the straight. It could also be the hook that way. Not that way, because that traps that one in as a 1. So, from those, I can't tell anything, unfortunately. Okay, so what else do we know? We have this here. This is bigger meets smaller still. We know it can't be a 2, 3, 4. We know it can't be a 3, 4, 5 because we've used both of the available 3s. So this is going to be a 6, 5, 4. Is that true anywhere else? Not so cut and dry. But this is a 5 that has to get out. I'm worried we're going to have to start on one of these regions to make any further progress. Which is scary because it's been going so well. But so far up to this stage, I'm very happy that I haven't guessed about anything, and we have lots of good, clean, crisp thoughts about what we've gained so far. Oh, we do. This is 3 tiles that are matched by 6, 5, 4. That means this has got to be a 6, 5, 4 right there. So that's good. That's something. Just trying to think of what our demands, you know. The same thing is actually true right here. I was looking for 3 in a row rather than corners, clearly. So this is going to be 4, 5, 6. This could be a 5 and a 6 here, but it doesn't have to be, so I'm not going to do that yet. I want to find more things that are certain. Well, this 6, if it did take these, would have to take those 2 to reach the number 6. It can't take this one because of the wall. So this 6 is ambiguous to these and ambiguous to this. Can't take this one. I can't take this one because it would trap in this guy. So this 6 goes up there and is ambiguous to either going further up or taking these or one or the other. But it does have to take those 2. So that's something. Equally then, this 4 could take those, but it has to take this one, and then it might take other stuff. So this 4 is ambiguous to these and this. Oh, God. Okay, well, there's another one. There's another one! No, there's not. This is both getting bigger from here. That's no good to me. This 5 has to get out. This 5, 6 might take this one. It might not. That's ambiguous. Has to come out, has to take this one. Might take this one for a 5-6. Might take those for a 5-6. But it has to take those, and then this is ambiguous, and these are ambiguous. I'm not making much use of mismatch yet, but we don't have many full-size shapes locked in yet, is part of that problem. So we've got the ambiguity on the 3s. Ooh, hold on. Something I missed. This guy here, right? This has to be smaller than this. This cannot be a 3-4 because we can't have another 3. Therefore, this has to be a 5 because it has to be smaller than this. And then this has to be smaller than that. So that's 4. That's a 5, put a box around it. That's exciting. Who knew so many things could be hiding from us? So that means this is a 6. This is a 4. Okay, we've got this 5 shape locked in. That's one thing that a different 5 cannot be. Now, this 6 tells us a lot, because if this 3 is the straight one, this 6 can't take that, locking in the 4. Therefore, that's the 6, that's the 4, that's the 3, and that's the other 3. I'm hoping all of that is very sound. I'm very happy with that. So, what can we check here now? This 5 has to take those, and then is ambiguous on this and this. This 5-6 and this 5. Is there enough room? There is enough room for there to be a 5 and a 6. This has to be a 5. It needs 2 more. Well, it has to take this tile, because it can't leave that one being a 1. And this 5 can either take this or this. So this is going to have to take this and this. And this is going to be a 6 that is ambiguous to here or here against this or this. Okay. Progress continues. 5 smaller than has to be a 4 because it can't be a 3 or a 2. Excuse you. Okay. This cannot be a 3 because that exists already. This 4 doesn't exist already. So this is 4, 5, 6 ambiguous to out of here. There's nothing to say what that will or won't be up there. We might need to find out a 5 that is either the T shape or this shape to make something else available to us. This... Oh, interesting. This 5 and this 5 share an ambiguity. So if this is the T, this is not the T. And if this is the 4 and 1, this is not the 4 and 1, this is the T. So those two, what symbol could I use? These two are paired in how they disambiguate the two shapes that they can possibly be, which is very interesting. We now have this 4, so this can't be this shape. Doesn't really help me very much. We know that there can't be the 4 can't be the straight long 4 because we've used that here. Therefore, this is not ambiguous to here. This 6 takes this one. And the 4 could still do this, right? We haven't seen that yet. And it could still do this. Not that. So, hold on. Let me clean this up a bit. This is a 6. It is ambiguous to this piece. This is a 4. It is ambiguous to this. And this. But not up, because if it goes up, it can't be this shape. We already have that. It can't be this shape, it blocks in the 5. So this is not going up. It's just going here, and then either this or this. So it's actually ambiguous to this. Okay, I'm fine with that. Strapping, because this might be the only puzzle we solve today. This shape here cannot be a 3, because both of the 3s are accounted for. Therefore, it needs to be 4, 5, or 6, right? It can't be a 6 because things need to be bigger than it, so it's a 4 or a 5, with these being larger than the 4 or the 5, which means this must come out to here. Because it can't back onto itself. And then that is ambiguous as to whether it goes 5 or 5. But that line exists. Which is interesting because that means after this disambiguates, we're going to be left with a 6 in here. Have we seen this shape for a 6 yet? No. Have we seen this shape for a 6 yet? No. So once we do, that might help us figure out some 6-y stuff. Now, there was the option of this for a 6, which would be this, which can't exist in both places. But we have no idea which one might be the other. Okay then, what else do we have? It's a great question. If this is this, we can't have this 5 because it already exists. But that's kind of taking too many steps ahead, I think. I'm just going to make a note up here of the 4s. So the 4s are 2 by 2, 4 in a straight line, T, Z, that's too big, and L. Is there another one? I don't think so. So, what do we know? Well, this is our Z piece. So that crosses that out. This is our line piece. That crosses that out. We have a 4 here. We have this 4. We have this 4. That's 1, 2, 3 things left. And we have this 4. They're 4. This can't be a 4. It's an ambiguous 5 or 6. What a great line to have found. This is a 5. Therefore, this is a 6. This is a 6. This is ambiguous as to whether it does this or this. I made a boo-boo marking this line because this could actually be a T for a 4. I think this has to be the L. This has to be the T. And this has to be the 2x2. And that is all the 4s. I think. So that picks up that. Is no longer ambiguous. Is just a 6. 4 goes to 5 goes to 6. That means this is all 5, which makes this a 6. What good exercise we just did in counting 4s. So we've got T shape, L shape, square shape. There's not another 4 I'm forgetting, is there? I don't think so. I know you can do the Z both ways. You can do an L left-handed, right-handed. But I'm pretty happy with that. So that means this 6 and this 6 are going to touch. It's going to take this. Then this is ambiguous as to being a 5 or a 5. It's going to take this. This is 5 parts of a 6. Now, hold on. This can't take that because that ends up as broken. So that's the 5. Put a box around it. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a 6 because it can't be a 4 and it can't be the same 5 again. So that's a 6. So what we now have is this 5 and this 5, but we also have this 6 and this 6 that can't both be pluses. One of them could be this, which means the other one can't be that, basically. So these 5s and 6s are very, very linked, shall we say. But we get the corner over here, which is lovely. This 6 has to get out. That's just a fact. We haven't seen... Oh, we have seen this 5 already. So that is in fact a 6. Okay, cool. So everything that's left, we wipe that off now. Everything that is left has to be A 5 or a 6. Oh, do you see it? I see it. Okay, that means all of the arrows that remain are 5, 6 arrows, right? I think that is a good and proper statement, which means this is a 5 and this is the 6 and this is 6, 5. This is 6, 5. This is 5, 6. This is 6, 5. This is 6, 5. Cool. That means that this must do this. This must do this. Which means that must do that, and that must do that. So the swells and the stars have disambiguated. I almost don't want to clear the pen marks off of this one when we're finished, because it's such a journey of our learning. Okay, what can we do with that? Well, if this is a 5, 6, then this 5 must be the W. That means this 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has to be that shape. This 5 has to come out and take that and be that shape. That's the remainder of that for that 6. Holy, it's all happening. That means this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has to be this because it can't be that or that. So that's a 6. I'm going to have to figure out which 5s and 6s I don't have used yet soon. But we'll get there. We will get there. Should I do the exercise of checking the pentominoes? Pentominoes. Show me an image of the pentominoes. Can I see them? Yeah, snip tool. See them as their unique selves. Good, you can see that. I can't make it bigger than this, but I'm going to go through and mark off what 5s we have off of this list. Well, you can see that. Right, so this guy, we have an N. Done. We have this guy. That is the U. Done. We've got the... Is this a P? Yeah, we've got the P is done. We've got the W is done. T is done. We've got the Y is done. Any others? That counts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 6 pentominoes we have thus far. And I'm going to mark those with check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. What next? 1, 2, 3 has to get out. 1, 2, 3 has to get out. 1, 2 has to get out. These cells build kind of a border around this 6. But I don't know if that's in a way that is actually helpful or not. My vibe guy wants to see if this can work out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It cannot because this 6 ends up too small. Okay, cool. Let's not follow that vibe any further then. I don't know if I could count this effective remaining area for 40 and divide that between 5s and 6s in a way that is valuable to me. Like 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. It's either 5 6s. It's either 5 6s plus 2 5s. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. I think it has to be that, right? So 5 6s and 2 5s remain out of what we have. So there's a 5. There's a 5. There's a 6. There's a 6. That's the same 6 as we already have somewhere. So change them both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Math! Who knew that math could work so well on the count on the end there to just define how many 5s we have left? I really like how all of this graffiti looks, but as I understand it, I think if we go continue now, if we look back at it, it's still there. If we go into any other puzzle and then go back, it is wiped forever. So there's your clean version of the puzzle, but I really liked that one. That was great. For now, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.